Hello, Primary 7. Today we're going to be thinking about circles and the different technical terms that we would use to describe properties within a circle. So just having a think about those different terms. Some of you may have come across them before, some of them might be new, but we're going to just start from the beginning with this Primary 7, and then maybe as we progress with our shape work, we'll make this a little bit more challenging. So this is the center of a circle. And the center of the circle is right in the middle, just like you would imagine. And it is a fixed point in the center of the circle. The distance from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference, which is the area around the outside, is always the same. So if we're going from the middle to the circumference of the circle, that distance will be the same at any point from the center to any point of the circumference. And we would label this with a letter. And that letter would be labeled right next to where the dot of the central point is. So this circle that's on your page right now is called circle M, and it represents the name of the circle. Okay, our next technical term within our properties of a circle is the circumference. Now, the circumference, as I explained, is the point where from one point all the way around the outside back to the same point is a circumference. So on some questions in the future, we may well be thinking about what is the circumference, working out the journey from one point, so from that big red point all the way around the outside to that same point again. Okay, our next technical property of a circle is the radius, and the radius is the point or the line from which the center and the circumference can be connected. So a radius can happen in multiple places within a circle. So on this example, it's labeled with red, but it could also be, imagining that that's a straight line, that blue line straight from the center of our circle to the circumference, which is purple, or it could be this turquoise line from the center of our circle out to the circumference. Okay, so that was the radius. Moving on, our next technical term, our next property is the diameter. Remember, Primary 7, you can stop this video at any point to review over any of these technical properties of a circle. For some of you, as I imagine, it will be something that you've learned before, and for some of you, it will be something quite new. So it's okay to review today. Okay, so a diameter of a circle is a straight line that passes through the center and connects both sides of the circumference. It measures the full width of the circle, and it is twice the length of the diameter of the radius, sorry. So a diameter goes all the way across with our red line, whereas a radius would only measure from one point all the way across. And that was a bad choice of color. I do apologize. I'll go with white. Okay, so a radius would be half of a diameter. So a radius would just be from your center point to the outside of the circumference of your circle. So therefore, a diameter is twice as long as the radius of a circle. So we've got that center, that black dot again. Now this red line represents something called a chord. And a chord is a line that connects one side of the circumference to the other edge of the circumference. But it is not a diameter. It doesn't pass through the center of that circle. So a chord can actually be different lengths. So if I change my color, I'll go with the white, that worked well. So here we've got a red chord, that's a chord. However, also imagining that that line is accurate and straight, that could be a chord. Okay, you could also have, let's go with a different color. Let's go with a dark blue. I could also have a chord, imagining my line is straight now, primary 7, okay? I could also have a chord that runs like that, okay? So a chord actually can be different lengths along, different chords, sorry, can be different lengths on the same circle. But remember, a chord is not running through the center of your circle. Okay, so here we're going over just a general reminder. We've got the center, well done. We've got the label of that center, which is called circle M in this one, in this example. We've got that purple line. Anyone remember what that purple line is? Well done. Circumference. Okay, we've got from the central point of our circle to the circumference is our radius. Well done if you got that one. And the one that goes all the way through the center of our circle, twice the length of the radius. Well done if you got diameter. Excellent. And the one that runs from one edge of the circumference to the opposite edge of the circumference, but not through the central point of our circle, is called a chord. Well done if you got that. Okay, primary 7. Now there are lots of different examples of circles. I'm not going to go and get you to find examples of circles today because I know that you can find that. What I'd like you to do now is move on to your quiz. I've set your quiz today. I'd like you to do the quiz without looking at the answers because there is no learning in copying answers onto your answer sheet. It's just copying, okay? So do the answers yourself. Remind yourself any corrections. If you get one wrong, remind yourself what that is. Remember, you can look at this film again and again if you want to, if that's helpful to you and your learning today. Once you've done the quiz, at the end of that quiz, I'm asking you to design a circle, and I'd like you to use different colors to label that circle with different maybe patterns, but I'd like you to use this technical properties of a circle language, please, to label those different designs that you've created. Okay, be creative, but also be mathematical. So that's question 10. If you'd like to, after that, I've set you an extension task which is on BBC Bite Size. It's a whole lesson. You can do part of it. You might want to do the worksheet for more preparation or for more practice, sorry, or you might want to do all of it. That's absolutely fine. Primary 7, tomorrow we're going to be moving on to next of a shape. So moving back into our 3D shape thinking. If you have any questions or things that you think have been tricky with circles and properties within a circle, I would like to come back to this later on, okay? But I need you to tell me if you think it was okay, actually it was quite easy, Mrs. Lister, or actually I would quite like to come back to this and review over these technical names of properties within a circle. Have a great day, Primary 7.